Our lesson today is specifically for Advent, and it is titled simply, Jesus, the Emmanu-el. For many of the things during Advent, I do not give it the English speech. I use the traditional Jewish speech. The name Jesus is the Greek form of the Hebrew and Aramaic Yeshua, which means from the Hebrew, Yahweh is salvation. The first Joshua, which is another way to say Yeshua, the successor of Moses, saved the people from their enemies following their escape from Egypt. The second Yeshua, Jesus, will save the entire people of the world from their sins. The people did not expect a Messiah who would save them from their sins, but one who would deliver them from their oppressors. How they viewed a Messiah differed by the century and by their individual high priests, because they controlled the message. The fulfillment of prophecy is important to Matthew. He mentions fulfillment of prophecy 11 times through the 1st, 4th, 12th, 13th, 21st, 26th, and 27th chapters. In Hebrew, El, English letters E and L, is a short form for Elohim, a name for God. Jewish people never, ever speak the name of God. They have other words that they will use instead of God, but they never, ever speak the Holy One's name. The name Emmanu-el, I-M-M-A-N-U--E-L. Instead of starting with an E, it starts with an I, means God with us. Emmanu-el describes Jesus' role or vocation. Jesus' calling is to save his people from their sins and then to manifest God's presence. Matthew thus begins his gospel with the promise that Jesus is God with us. Matthew will end his gospel in the 28th chapter with the 20th verse, with the promise that Jesus will be with us always to the end of the age. Matthew understands that in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, God is with us, recycling the world to himself. Jesus is the reassurance in the flesh that God has not given up on us, but will remain with us. The real event of Christmas is that God comes to change the world and each of us. Not just through a historical, virginal conception and then a baby lying in a manger, but through the God who is with us today, shattering our self-righteous attitudes and seeking to move us beyond our fears, freeing us from our bondages of materialism and the hate that is taking over this world, and the sin that buries us, holding us ready for Satan. Unless, of course, you've already signed an agreement with him, unless you're already his acolyte, working in this world to recruit for him, as was a certain president, as is a certain member of NRA. Anyone who can convince Christians that what they're doing is proper and they don't need to go to church. They have created an idol that is, in this case, the gun, the weapons, the killing instruments, and they stop going to church because Christ is no longer as important as that instrument of death. That's how strong Wayne LaPierre is. That's how strong Donald Trump is. When they deny love your neighbor as yourself, love one another as I love you. When they deny these precepts of Christ, these commandments, Satan is ruling. But Christ and God, just wait. Just wait. They will win in the end.